Welcome back, guys. This is the round of 4. Yes, indeed. The winner of this best of 5 will be moving on to the grand finals, which will happen sometime next week or something like that. It's going to happen whenever it happens. But this map is the Shattered Temple. We do have our green Zerg Rampager spawning in the top position. Rampager has been one of the crowd favorites so far, so we'll just see how he performs this time around. And it does seem like Rampager did have a couple FPS problems, but that doesn't really seem to be affecting him all that much anymore. And in our left position, we have the blue Terran Brockemon, clearly half Pokemon, half trainer. We'll see if that works out for him. Although he might be at a slight disadvantage considering he doesn't have, what are their names? Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy or something? Yeah, he doesn't have them as a cheering squad, so he may be at a slight disadvantage. Like I said, the map is Shattered Temple, and we do see Rampager sending his drone scout out. This time he is fairly standard against the Terran, especially since the Terran can wall off. So you do want to try to get a drone scout in there before the Terran does manage to wall off. Now we do see the workers just battling it out in the middle. The drone does manage to escape with 7 hit points left, and Brockemon actually doing a really smart move by switching out the damaged SCVs. Basically what this is going to ensure is the damaged SV isn't going to get picked off by a drone or a couple Zerglings running in. So the barracks is going to get up without any delays, but Rampager does get a couple hits off onto the new SCV, but that's not going to cause too much problems. Now Rampager is just going to come back up into his base just to check to see if any additional tech buildings were thrown down. Now Brockemon is getting his refinery, and Rampager is throwing down his gas and his spawning pool. This gas is kind of late in my opinion. This probably means he isn't going to be getting speeding up straight away. He's probably going to be going straight for roaches, or he could be going for lead tech. So we'll just see what he does with the first 100 or so gas. Rampager is chilling outside Brockemon's base and does decide to return back to his base. And Brockemon is completing off his wall off. Brockemon is getting his command center, fairly standard, clearly. Other than that, both players are just going to be slightly macroing up, and we'll just see what tech pass they choose to go down. Brockemon not really scouting all that much so far. He is throwing down a factory, so we're probably going to be seeing some early Hellion aggression. Probably going to get a couple siege tanks out to help defend. Rampager is sending a couple Zerglings out. The Zerglings aren't going to be able to pick off that SCV, so this is his first scout, but that is actually going to get picked off by the Queen, which is moving forward. So Brockemon not really able to scout Rampager's entire base, but he isn't really missing out all that much. Rampager is getting Zergling speed up. So at the moment, Rampager is still sitting purely on Lings, getting the Ling speed up. He is throwing down his Expo, so he's going to be looking to get a really good economy right from the start. And Brockemon throwing on a Tech Lab, so we probably are going to be seeing some Blue Flame Hellions, either that or he's going to go for some really quick siege tanks. But it's probably going to be Hellions in preference to the siege tanks, especially since he does have quite a secure wall off. He does have a bunker to push back any early Ling aggression. Rampager is sending a Zergling scout. He's probably just going to be poking around up to his base just to see what unit composition Brockemon is going for. Now Rampager does have a couple overlords on the side of the map. This is one ninja overlord. Okay, it's kind of disappeared, but it is there, as you can still see from the minimap. He is deciding to sack one overlord just to see what he has. He could also sack the second later on in the game, especially since he could just sack it straight into the Expo. And Brockemon is going for some Hellions. He does pick off that Ling Scout, so Rampager is going to know that he does have a Hellion coming his way. Moving the Queen into position, also throwing down a Spine Crawler just to be safe. And Brockemon is getting the Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade, so we are going to be seeing some Blue Flame Hellion aggressions. That does kind of become a tongue twister after a while. Yeah, anyway. Rampage throwing down his Bailing Nest. That's probably not really the best idea against Blue Flame Hellions, but of course he hasn't really scouted, so he doesn't really know. The Bailings are going to be able to get picked off pretty easily, especially since Brockemon does seem to be going for more of a mech based play since he isn't really producing that many Marines. The Zergling does get picked off just before Infernal Preigniter does finish. So Rampager does know that Brockemon is going Hellions, but he isn't actually aware of the fact that they have the Blue Flame upgrade now. This could be really problematic for Brockemon, but Rampager is prepared, throwing up an extra Spine Crawler. He does have 2 Queens to help defend. He is somewhat spinning the creep round. He could slightly do a better job throwing down a creep tumor, just as I say that. Now we do see the Hellions moving out, looking to be a bit aggressive, trying to do some economic damage. We do see Rampager throwing down his Roach Warden, so he knows he needs to get the Roach tech up really quickly. It could be slightly helpful he goes for his lair, or which he actually is going for his lair. So probably going to get some mutas to actually help fend off the Hellions. But if Brockemon chooses to go for Thors, which at the moment could be a possibility since he is going with a double factory, also getting his command center up. If Brockemon does choose to go Thors, those mutas will be rendered basically useless, but we'll see what kind of tech path he chooses to go down. Rampager is getting the ground carapace upgrade, and Brockemon is getting a couple siege tanks out, so far it's a fairly standard mech play from Brockemon. As for Rampager, he does have his Roach Warden up, not really producing any roaches at the moment. He is choosing to spend his gas on upgrades instead, getting the Bailing speed up. So we'll see if this tier 1 unit composition is going to be able to fend off Brockemon's mech play. Now Brockemon is getting his second base up. He is looking to fortify it with a bunker. He's probably going to siege up his siege tanks. Actually no, he doesn't have siege mode yet, only just started. So the Hellions are looking to be a bit aggressive again, but they are going to retreat to the base. So probably just poking around just to see if Rampager has any units at the front that he can pick off. Now Rampager does have control of the Xel'Naga Tower, so he is going to be able to see if Brockemon does choose to go for his third. Now the Hellions are once again just poking around, just as I think they're going for an attack. And it does seem Brockemon seems to be slightly indecisive at the moment, probably going to pick off that creep tumor that was just thrown down. So this is actually going to hamper Rampage a slight bit, because he actually needs to spread his creep out to be able to deal with these Blue Flame Hellions. He could drop this creep tumor down, probably going to be doing that at some time. He does throw another creep tumor down with his queen, and we still don't see any roaches from Rampager. We do see a mainly Zergling based army. He is getting the Carapace upgrade still. He's probably going to be getting the melee attack. He is getting his Infestation Pit up, so as well as a Spire. So he probably is going to go for those mutas to try to fend off these Hellions. But at the moment, Brockemon is going for a third factory, so he is going to be going predominantly mech. At this point, we're probably going to be seeing an armor get thrown up, going for those Thors, because the Thors against Zerglings, especially with the support of the siege tanks, is going to tear all hell up. So Rampager in a slightly bad situation at the moment, not really scouting Brockemon's base. Same thing applies for Brockemon, but he just happens to get the better stick, or better end of the stick for build orders. Now he is repositioning his spine crawlers. That is going to help defend, especially since that's going to create small choke points which the units will have to be funneled through. That will make the Banelings more effective. It's going to slow down their movements even further, especially since mech is already pretty slow as it is. Now Rampager does have the mutas out, probably going to be looking to be a bit aggressive in the SCV line. If we look at his mineral line, he does have a couple turrets up. That's actually pretty decent placement, because that's going to push back any muta harassment that actually comes his way. But he is going to be repelled by the Marines and the missile turrets, so these mutas at the moment have actually been quite a money sink. If we look at Brockemon's main base, he is getting more supply depots, obviously. He does have a couple missile turrets. The placement is actually pretty decent. He does have only one tiny position that's actually vulnerable, since he can fly straight through here. But at the moment, Brockemon is actually looking in quite a good position. He is flying his third command center off into this bottom expansion here. Now the Hellions are pushing out again, scanning to take out those creep tumors. That's going to slow down Zerg's movements even more. So at the moment, Rampager actually needs to either get a third up because he wants to be ahead of bases, which